What up, Solar Fam? It's your host, Ian. I'm back on the Intersolar podcast. Thank you for tuning in this week. I know last week we had a very special guest with us. I'm so sad I missed it. The top G himself. I learned a lot from that. But if he's ever back on again, you can bet that I'm tuning in. I'm being there. I'm learning from the best himself. I'm getting inspired by the divine being himself. But you might have heard we also have a special guest this week. I'm actually really excited to sit down and talk with him. He hasn't done too many podcasts in the past. So I want you guys to give it up for Mark Zuckerberg himself. Mark, how's it going?
Hi, Ian. I'm doing very well on this fine Thursday evening. How are you?
You know, we're alive, we're breathing, we're kicking. It's almost Friday, so can't complain about that. I know all our viewers feel the same way, but it's a pleasure to have you on. I'm excited to get into the nitty gritty with you. You have a lot of knowledge that you can spread. So, first of all, what made you want to do a podcast finally?
Well, I think it's time that you humanoids understand the legend of Mark Zuckerberg, where I come from, what I plan on doing, and who I really am. I think it's time for the world to truly see that.
And when you say humanoids, what do you mean by that?
Well, that's something I kind of would like to get into in this wonderful podcast, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get into it. I just got a question first before we start diving into the deep, dark secrets of Meta. So I know there's a lot of circulations about the whole Mark versus Elon thing. So what made you entertain that?
Most likely because the fact I could beat his ass easily.
Oh, that's big talk, Mark. I don't know. Elon's kind of a fucking house. He's a fridge if you ever look at him. What gives you the confidence that you can beat him in a grappling match?
The fact that I have reptilian blood flowing through my veins, which makes
Whoa,
my humanoid form that much stronger.
reptilian blood? What are you
Yes,
talking about?
yes. If you'd like, I would like to get into that, if that's okay with you.
Hey, you're the special guest. Take it away.
So, for the first time in this millennia, I would like to introduce you to the real Mark Zuckerberg. Hello.
Whoa, Mark, are you still there?
Yes, sorry, my camouflage powers tend to go on and off frequently. I've gotten so used to my humanoid form, it's hard to maintain this one.
I'm actually kind of speechless right now, Mark. And I'm talking to our producer. You got this, right? Okay, this is breaking news. Mark Zuckerberg is, in fact, a reptilian humanoid being. I want to talk
Yes,
about that.
sorry, my camouflage powers keep going in and out. Sure, what would you like to talk about, Ian?
I mean, you being a reptile, being a lizard. I knew the rumors are pretty far out there, but it looks like the rumors are true. Is that true?
It is, in fact, true, and I would like to get into the story on why I created Facebook and what it means for the world, if that is okay with you.
Hey, like I said, you're the special guest. Take it away.
Yes, so as most of you know, I studied in college at Harvard University to learn business. I was not accustomed to the humanoid way of doing business. It was from there I met what you call the Winklevoss twins, who, yes, as most of you who watch this podcast are familiar with them because they run the Gemini Exchange. It was then and there they came up with a great idea called Facebook. I was intrigued by it, where you could send messages to people online, you could send friend requests, you can get to know one another from an online presence. To me, this was revolutionary. I then stole the idea from them and then quickly made it my own. What originally came from them came to me now in a multi-billion dollar business. As most of you know and use Facebook, you share links with your family and friends, you send friend requests to one another, and you get to know each other through the Facebook. But what you don't know is that we use this data, and I specifically use it to send it to my homeworld to do reconnaissance on the humanoid species. So there you have it. There is the true origin and why I created Facebook.
Jeez, you heard it here first, folks. So
Yes.
with the terms and conditions that we're accepting, what
No one
exactly?
reads that, Ian. No one reads that.
Well, I want to know,
That's
what are we accepting, Mark?
Go read it. It's there. You can read it. You cannot read it. But just know that your data is in a different world right now. We are harvesting through it as we speak. The time will come when we gracefully take over this planet.
So where is your home world?
That I cannot discuss. I would not like my privacy breached.
Mark, you're preaching privacy not being breached, but yet you won't describe the terms and conditions. I mean, I can speak for everyone, whereas I would say I can read them, but I don't have 3 days worth of time where I can read them. So, what makes you so much higher above the rest of the world where you can breach our data, but we can't breach yours?
It's the fact that you have the patience of an orangutan. It takes us reptilians about 5 seconds to read those terms and conditions. Easy peasy on our planet. But on Earth, you guys don't even bother. It's your own stupid mistake. Just take the damn time and read it.
I'll try my best. I can't make any promises, but I'm just kind of blown away that I am, in fact, talking to a lizard person. So, how is it being a lizard on Earth then?
You know, it's kind of awkward. It's There's a few of us here, yeah. My wife, she's lizard. My children, they're half lizards. I'm pretty sure the Kardashians are lizards as well. But it gets kind of lonely. But I make do with my billions.
So, when you say you're a lizard and your wife's lizard, but your children are only half lizards, what does that mean?
Once again, it's in the Facebook terms and conditions. You'll just have to read it. My reptilian lawyer won't let me discuss it any further on this podcast. Can we please, please change topics?
I mean, I can't change topics on you being a lizard, but okay. So we know why Facebook was created. It's created for the data harvesting of humanoids, which
Yes,
is kind of fucked up if you ask me, but no
it's
one
not.
did.
It's not.
Why not? Explain that.
Well, you see, it's you guys don't value privacy. You're out there online showing the world your families, showing the world what you eat. You know how many notifications I get from my humanoid friends about what they're fucking eating? You think I give a shit? You think your parents give a shit? You think your neighbors give a shit? No. No one gives a shit you're eating a McDouble on a Tuesday night. That's just annoying. Post some useful information. Like, what type of blood do you have? Are you an organ donor? What's your mother's maiden name? This information is critical, not what you're eating.
Man, I'm rethinking my whole existence right now. This is kind of crazy. So, with the terms and conditions, when you say post things useful, what was Facebook originally meant for then, rather than data harvesting? Well,
Originally, it was organ harvesting, but my reptilian lawyer advised against that. He mentioned you humanoids would quickly pick up on that, so we decided, maybe now isn't the time for that feature. Maybe next year, maybe the year after, but we're still looking into that feature.
oh, geez. So it's interesting because when you're harvesting this data, and you say you didn't want to do organ harvesting, so you're moving more towards learning about humans. What are the top takeaways that you've learned about us humans?
In summary, you guys are a very dumb species.
I mean, that's not really a summary. That's just a statement.
Yeah,
uh,
it's factual, yes. I mean, once again, no one cares what you're eating. No one cares that it's your kid's birthday. I'm getting friend requests from people I've never heard of. I don't know you. We're not really friends. You're posting rented Lamborghinis for clout. It is ridiculous.
Now, when you first created this and pivoted from the organ harvesting, what was the intention behind it? Did you intend for people to use it as clout chasing, or what was the main intention behind releasing this to the humanoid species?
Mm, couldn't process your question. Could you ask it again?
I mean, I thought you could process things in 5 seconds. Loads of
Not when they
different.
don't make sense from you primitive species. It seems like you're asking me the same question again.
I am because I'm not getting an answer, Mark.
Well, it's just one of those things you won't get a clear-cut answer. As Joe Biden once said, he forgot, so he moved on with his life. So let's go ahead and do the same thing here.
All right, so we're gonna pivot from that, but can you talk a little bit about your history in your home world? How did you get here?
Well, what's funny is there's this man on this planet called Elon Musk. A lot of people don't know he experimented with rockets way back when, before SpaceX. He was shooting out the test rocket, and it hit my home planet. And we were like, "Yo, what is this?" And then we saw, this big Doge-looking thing on the rocket, and we traced it back to Earth. From there, our fundamental understanding was you Earthlings were advanced enough for rockets for space. So they sent me to do the data collecting. But boy, were we wrong. We didn't find anything good once we got here.
Damn, that's an attack on the human race. If you're not invading, that's an attack.
I
So,
mean, there's nothing great to invade. There's nothing good here.
so then why harvest data?
To be honest, I'm kind of a loser on my home planet. They totally forgot about me.
Dang, well, you're a winner here. So, on a scale of 1 to genius, how do reptilians rank and how do humans rank?
From a scale of 1 to genius, I would say reptilians are above genius on that scale. And then you humanoids, probably below than the lowest you could possibly rate.
Dang, so how difficult has it been adapting to such a low life species?
Finally, these are some good questions. It's been tough. Generally, I'm eating alligator-sized meals with alligators, right? I'm slithering away with the snakes. I'm climbing trees with my lizard brothers. Here, I can't do that. At least I can't do that in the public. That's why I went around and bought a whole subdivision so I could just roam around in my lizard form and just be myself.
Dang, so the skin that you wear, is that just human skin or how did you get that? Oh,
This, disgusting. This is who I really am.
dang. I'm blown away. I'm truly just baffled, speechless. So when you say eating alligator meals with alligators, what's a meal in the life of Mark Zuckerberg?
Well, I've grown accustomed to your lobster servings. Your lobster is very delicious, I will admit that. You know what? The more I think about it, it's probably my favorite thing about you Earthlings is lobster. So delicious. But generally, we have these things called zoobonoids on my home planet. They kind of look like alligators. So when I saw alligators here, I was like, holy shit, we got zoobonoids. But they're just alligators, but they're delicious. And I've learned if you eat them with salt here, perfect.
Dang. So what is a typical diet of Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, how much time do you have? I'm to the point where now I'm eating like 3 to 4 alligators just for breakfast. That's crazy. I'm eating a lot. I gotta maintain this lizard form. But I like to keep it high in protein. Yeah, and then occasionally when I get sneaky, I like to eat a human for dinner.
Oh, jeez. Is that why there's a lot of missing people cases? How do you vet who to eat?
By their Facebook profile.
You heard it here, folks. Be careful with Facebook. I mean, you recently acquired Instagram too. What was the reasoning behind that?
More data harvesting, but this time, it's kind of like a menu, if you may. Like, it's just pictures. With Facebook, you got these words like no one cares, no one cares, no one cares. But now I was like, you know what? We need something to really just define pictures. I need to know what I'm eating. So that's where the whole Instagram thing came up. It's like a menu, a buffet for me. I just tell my people like, hey, I want this, this, and this, and then go get it.
Jeez. So is there like a social media platform for just lizards? How many lizard people are there?
Like I said, I haven't been to my home world. I haven't kept in touch with them in a while. I would say when I was there, there's probably a good million plus. It's not a very big world.
Dang. So that's why there's so few on this earth. Pretty proportional.
Exactly, Ian.
So I know everyone's wondering the surfing picture with you with a purple face. What was the reasoning behind that?
I'm sorry, what? The purple face?
Yeah, the picture of you surfing with a purple face because of the sunscreen. What was that? What was that?
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. And no, just sometimes I don't properly put on my humanoid face, and what may seem like purple is just the face is falling off, right? So I forgot to put gorilla glue, as you guys call it, on my humanoid face. So, it's just simple makeup misunderstanding.
Man, now that explains a lot. Now it all makes sense. I thought you were just a weirdo, but I guess there's a rhyme to reason with that. So when you're training, because I know going back to the Elon fight, when you're training jujitsu and doing the little grappling, how do you keep it in check? Are you significantly stronger than humans? How do you keep that strength in check?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we are statically speeding, 3 times stronger than humans. It's true. Um, Sometimes I do go against a very difficult opponent, but there I get sneaky again, and I use my tail. I use my tail. I can move my tail really fast, and they don't see it. So anytime I'm like, "Oh shit, this guy's really good," I use my tail.
How long is your tail?
Oh, my wife says I have a very long tail.
So your strength compared to the other lizard people's strength. How do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, strength wise?
Well, once again, we're not a dumb species. There's no point in fighting other lizard people. We all, appreciate each other. Whereas you humanoids like to attack each other for no apparent reason.
I mean, you're not wrong with that. We have a lot of work to do on that end. Just free love, world peace. That's all we want. Is that something that you're trying to help us accomplish too?
It's not. I mean, like I said, the original plan for Facebook was organ harvesting, which we transitioned to data harvesting. Those Russians, they really like that Facebook data for some reason. I don't know why. But then we moved on to Instagram, right? There's more like a menu buffet selection of photos. And then I think one time my IT department, we tried copying Snapchat. It was such a dumb idea. I forgot what it was called, but we did that just to, we need more money. Why not? Their code's open source. We bada boom, bada bing, copy paste. We got the same thing. Let's just add the Facebook logo, and we're good. And then we saw Elon. He took over Twitter. I think he bought it for like $44 billion or something crazy like that, right? And
I
then
think
he
that's
was
correct.
and then he was stupid enough to make that shit open source. So I told my IT department, bada boom, bada bing, copy paste, change the Twitter logo to our logo, and we got a $44 billion app.
Are you talking about threads right now?
Is that what it's still called? Yeah, Threads. Yes, yes.
I was gonna say, is that just a purely copy and paste of Twitter? That's what it feels like.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, we did change the logo. Same source code, but we changed the logo. It's different.
It's the same, but different.
Exactly.
All right, so you're a lizard, come from the lizard homeworld, created Facebook, pivoted the reason for Facebook. What's the future of Meta?
I mean, the future's kind of obvious, right? The next social media platform that comes out that hits it big, we're gonna copy it. As soon as they make that shit open source, it's Meta's property. I mean, we just kind of gotta sit back and wait. What's the next best thing? And then we take it. It's that simple. We have an easy peasy business plan. Whatever's hyped up in this market, that shit's mine. No one's gonna say anything. I'm fucking Mark Zuckerberg.
I mean, it's kind of a foolproof business plan if you ask me. Now, taking things to the metaverse, what's the reasoning behind that?
You know, we wanted to distract you humanoids while we kidnapped you and ate you. So it was one of those things, like, let's make these ugly ass goggles, put them on their eyeballs. They can't see shit, and they're like, oh, the metaverse, the metaverse. Like, no, okay, this is the easy kidnapping.
So it's purely for kidnapping reasons. Because I mean, I for one, I don't like the metaverse. I'm not gonna lie to you, Mark. I don't like it. It's kind of weird. You can buy property. It's kind of just living online. So it's purely just so that people get kind of encapsulated into a virtual world, so you can kidnap them.
Yeah, I mean, have you played around with the Oculus? That thing fucking sucks. You're in it for 20 minutes and you feel like you're gonna throw up. You got these, you're a crypto founder. You got these crypto projects hyping up, oh, the metaverse, the metaverse. Just because you suck in real life doesn't mean you're not gonna suck in the metaverse. It's just digital stuff. It doesn't make sense. No one's gonna spend more than an hour in the metaverse without blowing the cookies. It's simply just a misdirection where we could put those goggles on your face, break in through your window, grab you, and take you back to Meta headquarters. That's all it is.
Jeez. So I guess one big question: what do humans taste
With or without butter.
like? Ha ha ha. I'm serious, Mark. I'm serious. Look at me. I'm serious. What do humans taste like?
Well, if you really want to know, they taste kind of like chicken. But you added butter and you add some salt. Perfection.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of creeped out right now. But
As you should be. I mean, before coming onto this podcast, you had to sign an NDA, and now I know where you live. So always be on the lookout.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can say I'm doxxed now. Doxxed by Mark Zuckerberg himself. I would say it's an honor, but I don't know if I like being doxxed by a lizard creature. You're kind of
I-
creeping me out still.
It's not ideal, but you gotta live with what you get in life. I hope you understand that.
I mean, it's each their own. If I'm gonna go out, it might as well be to a lizard person. I won't have an Oculus though, so you can't take me that easily. I can run kind of fast. I'm kind of a speedy dude. Have you seen the movie Flash?
I don't watch your primitive films.
Yeah, you should probably skip that one too. I haven't watched it, but I saw a couple clips. Not that good, but I'm fast like Flash. You can't catch me.
Hold on, my eyes are itchy. Okay.
If you can never do that again, I'd be so happy about that. It's crazy. I guess any other big points about Meta, about lizard people, about the Hollywood lifestyle that you want to say to our listeners?
Yes, definitely. To anyone listening, I want to inspire you that any one of you humanoids can be great in life. Take the time, come up with a great idea, make it a $1 billion idea, open source code it, and let Meta have it. Make my life easier.
All right, you heard it here, here, heard it here first, folks. You don't want to do that. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm just gonna say it. You don't want to open source code your code.
Yes, you do, Ian. Yes, you do. It's trust, right? You got to build trust with your community. Open source code it, please.
All right. On that note, I think it's time to cut this off early because I'm creeped out. I imagine anyone watching this is kind of creeped out. So, Mark, I would say it's a pleasure, but dang, this is wild. I did not expect this tonight. This is nuts. But for all you listeners, Mark is a lizard person. You heard it here first, and don't wear Oculus goggles because you might get snatched. But thank you for having
Wear
me.
them. Wear them. We sent you some, Ian, in the mail. Please try it on at your earliest convenience.
I'm burning it as soon as it's delivered to the door. I swear to God. But Mark, thanks for coming on. Thanks for helping us realize there's some lizard people out there. But every person, every individual in the solar fam, sleep tight. Don't have nightmares over this. And we'll see you next week on the Inner Solar Podcast.